Hi guys, it's Fina. So lately I've been watching a lot of YouTubers do this video called the My First Time tag, and I really enjoy watching those kinds of videos. I don't know why. But yeah, I thought I want to do it. So yeah. And to clear up all of your guys' nasty confusion, this is a video talking about my first time doing things, or the first things that I've had, or just first in my life, not like my first time. So my first memory would have to be my 3rd birthday, and it was at Chuck E. Cheese, and this is like the earliest I can remember, the first thing I can remember, and it's my 3rd birthday, and it was just at Chuck E. Cheese. There was nothing really special that I remember about it other than being there and going on that stupid toy thing that you pedal like a bike and it goes up and down. And I remember my uncles going on it, and I remember, I think they almost broke it. Like, they thought they had broken it or something. And yeah, my 3rd birthday was the first thing I can remember. My first pet was a fish. Because I grew up with, parents who worked or went to school all the time. They're always busy, and my sister and I were quite young. We couldn't have, pets just then, actual pets like dogs or whatever, so our first pets were fish, and we always had betas, and for some reason they would always die really fast. They wouldn't last that long, and I don't know if this is the reason why they died really fast, but looking back I can understand, because me and my sister like to play with the fish. You know how kids like to touch their pets? Me and my sister were stupid, and we'd always try to pet the fish in their tanks, and my parents always yelled at us oh, stop touching the fish, they're gonna die, or they're, I never really thought about it, but maybe that's why they all died. My first friend that I can really actually remember was in kindergarten, and her name was McKenna, and I think it was kindergarten. Yeah, it was in kindergarten. Her name was McKenna, and I don't really remember much about that, because since I moved around a lot growing up, that friendship didn't really last. But yeah, she was my first friend, and she was really nice to me. At first, she wasn't really nice to me. I don't know why. But eventually, we became really good friends. And I think it was because some kid in our class, always picked on me, and he'd call me, Chinese girl, because I looked Chinese when I was younger. And, it would piss me off. So, yeah, I remember her always, sticking up for me and saying, "Stop calling her that." Or, "You're Mexican, what do you care?" I remember that, and it was really funny. I thought it was really funny for kids that age to be saying stuff like that. So yeah, if you're watching this, hi, how are you? My first crush had to be, the first crush that I can remember was probably when I was in 2nd and 3rd grade, and it was this boy named Robbie, and he was in my class. Back then they mixed the grades for some classes, and he was in 3rd grade, I was in 2nd grade, and I had the biggest crush on him. I don't even know why. I just had the biggest crush on him. He was this white kid with glasses and blonde hair, and yeah. I don't think that lasted very long. The first concert I went to was when I was around 8 or 9, and it was one of those radio summer concert things, and it was the artists that I remember performing were City High, Saluna, and DJ Sammy, or Doe. DJ Sammy wasn't there. It was some girl named Doe or something. And I remember we were excited to go. I went with my aunt and my mom, and I can't really remember who else went with us. My sister was there too. But I remember we were excited for Saluna, and they're actually this Latin group, and we're not Latin, and they'd sing a lot of songs in Spanish, so... But we were really big fans of them. And City High was really big at the time. You know, "I'm far for brown eyes, smell like the sunrise, da-da-da-da-da," you got that. So my aunt, who was a teenager at the time, was really excited to see them, and I actually got their autographs on the backpack that I had worn there. I don't know where that backpack is right now. I think it's in storage or something. But yeah, I was really excited to get their autographs, and yeah, because City High was the shit. My first celebrity crush, I grew up watching Asian movies, so my family, we watched a lot of Hong Kong cinema, And my first crush, I naturally developed a celebrity crush on an Asian person, and it was this actor named Edison Chen, and he was actually really big in Hong Kong. If you guys know, he was like really one of those scandalous people. I just fell in love with him, and I think the movie that did it for me, like where I freaking fell in love, was probably Initial D. Like, I loved watching Asian movies growing up, and I just thought he was so freaking handsome. And then I just became really obsessed with him, and I tried to watch every single movie that he made, and I found out that he sang too, and I listened to all his music, like every single song that he ever sang or came out with, I listened to it. Looking back, it wasn't all that great, but it didn't really matter because I just had like the biggest freaking crush on him. And yeah, eventually, like, it was really funny because when he went through all those stupid scandals, my heart wept so badly. Like, I found out about all these sex scandals, and I was like crying in my room, and I was like, I think when I developed my crush on him, I was in like 5th, 6th grade. And then I was crying in my room. I was still in middle school, and I was crying like, oh my god, I forgive you. Like, it's really weird to think about, but yeah, I had like this huge crush on Edison Chen, and I have no idea what he's up to now. Like, I think he's, I'm just gonna Google him. My first CD that I bought for myself was by this group called Play, and they were like a European group, like S Club 7 or something, but they were just like an all-girl group, and they had like these pop songs, and they were really catchy, so I think I remember seeing them on like an infomercial or something, and that's why I bought their CD, and I was in like 3rd grade again. So yeah, and I had my own CD player by then, so that was my first CD that I bought for myself. So my first boyfriend was this guy named Mark, and we met in high school. All of my friends, this is like a really funny story, all my friends knew who he was, and they just told me out of the blue one day. One of my friends, Andrew, told me, Fina, I know someone who likes you, and he told me it was this guy named Mark, and I didn't know who that was, like, didn't have any idea. And I was a sophomore, and he was a junior, and then after I found out who he was, I started seeing him around school all the time, so that was for like 4 months. He stalked me, like walked around school. I saw him every now and then out of the corner of my eye, or just like, it was weird. He stalked me for like 4 months around the school, and then he finally introduced himself to me. And yeah, eventually, like, we started talking, and things happened kind of fast, but because I knew that he liked me, we kind of like fell into a relationship really fast, and I knew he already had intentions of making me his girlfriend. So a month after we started talking, that we first met and started talking, he asked me to be his girlfriend. And yeah. So my first kiss was also Mark, and it was outside of a movie theater. When we started talking and we started like going out together, going out on dates, we went to the movies a lot in the beginning, and it was actually the day after he asked me to be his girlfriend that he kissed me for the first time, and that was my first kiss. And I'm very innocent. I'm a very idealistic person when it comes to love and relationships, and he knew that, and he knew how innocent I was, or how I felt about things like that. So he gave me a hug outside the movie theater, and my dad was waiting in the parking lot. I didn't know where he was, but I knew he was there to pick me up, and he gave me a hug, and before he let me go, he whispered in my ear and said, Fina, is it okay if I kissed you? And I said yes, and yeah, that's how my first kiss happened. And then I went home, and just like in the movies, I like called my best friend and gave her this like fairy tale rundown of like my first kiss, and then I called him right afterwards. Naturally, my first date was with Mark also, and I can't remember which one of these was our first date. It's one of these. Okay, it was either this movie date where we went to watch Iron Man 2, and it was really cute. I remember everything vividly. I just can't remember which came first. We watched Iron Man 2, and we were still like, this was before we had even known each other for like a month, and we went to go watch the movie, and we were holding hands by that time already, and every time he had this thing, he got really nervous, and his hands would sweat like a mother, and his hands were really hot, and he was holding my hand, but like his hand didn't feel sweaty, but eventually he just put his hand on my leg, and his hand was so hot, like it sweat so much, like his hand was so warm. I felt like my leg was on fire because of his hand. And later on, after we came out of the movie, I was just like, are you nervous? Because he told me straight up, when we'd hold hands, he'd like wipe his hands on his pants and be like, oh, are my hands sweaty? Like, I'm sorry, my hands are getting sweaty. Like, I'm nervous. And I, like, all the time, every time I'd hold his hand. And then I asked him after we finished the movie, and I was like, are you nervous? And he said, no, why? And I was like, your hands are so sweaty. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. And I was like, no, it's okay. Your hand was really hot, you know? The other day that might have been our first date, I can't remember, but I think it was a double date that we went on with his best friend. And we went to this bowling alley arcade thing that's really big here in Vancouver. And it was really cute. Like, we played games. We went to Jamba Juice, and we played games when we got there. The thing that I remember about it most was they have this black and white photo booth, and each couple went and took pictures together, right? And so I actually have the photo strip still. It's so embarrassing. Like, I'm not embarrassed that I kept it, but you have to see this. Like, keep in mind, I was a very innocent girl, and I have very, like, people might have thought that I was very conservative when it came to like touching and like boy-girl interaction. Come the last frame of the photo booth photos, he decided he wanted to like kiss me on the cheek. And this is before he had given me my first kiss, before he asked me to be his girlfriend. And I was really shocked, and you can see that in the photo. Like, look at that face. Like, it's not even like a pleasant, like, oh my gosh kind of face. It's like, oh my god, what the fuck is going on, like that. And it's so embarrassing. Like, I always thought it was really cute though, and yeah, not like I can always remember that freaking night. And I felt really bad because afterwards, because I was such an innocent girl, I was just like, why did you do that? And I felt really bad because he felt really bad. But yeah, it's kind of cute. And I think it's between those two that are our first date. Okay, so while we're on the subject, Mark was also my first love. We were together for 2 years. We're not together anymore, and for those of you who follow me on Tumblr, you already know that, and it was kind of a tough breakup, kind of complicated, but, you know, things happen for a reason, I've come to realize, and although I wish things didn't end as horribly as they did, and I'm pretty sure that's for a reason, and I wish they hadn't. So, I mean, he was my first love, I don't deny that, and I'm pretty sure that it was love, like, I'm sure that it was real, but yeah, I'm glad that it happened. So I guess you can say that Mark was also, like, my first heartbreak, especially if you guys followed me on Tumblr, and yeah. On a lighter note, the first thing that I'll talk to you guys about is my first YouTube video, and my first YouTube video was actually a cover that I did with my sister back in, like, 2010, 2011, and it's a cover that we did. She was playing the ukulele and I was singing a song, and it was Soul Sister by Train. And it's not a bad video. I'm not really quite like embarrassed by it, but it's horrible lighting. Like, the window is behind us, so you can't see my face. Like, it's just black right here. And yeah, I'm not really embarrassed by it, and it's actually still up on the channel that we used to share. And I'll link that down below if you guys want to watch it. And you can watch the other videos that are on there. I'm not really embarrassed by it. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed hearing about my first times and hearing about my love issues. And if your heart weeps for me, give this video a thumbs up. I would appreciate it, and it would help me heal. I'm just kidding. But yeah, if you guys liked it, give this video a thumbs up. And if you want to do your own first time video, then leave me a video response, and I'd love to hear about your guys' first time things, because I just like watching videos like this, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching mine again. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye!